Cunningham. Now, I'm going to play a little interview, and this is courtesy of Bally Sports Detroit. So they were asking him about the Tigers' success, and obviously last night they clinched their first playoff berth in over 10 years since 2014. But this is Cade talking with Bally Sports Detroit.
Yeah, it's really cool to watch. That's how we want to be. Seeing the Lions do the same thing. Everybody in Detroit is doing that. So I believe we're next. And like Oren said, only the best is to come.
So, what were your thoughts on Cade Cunningham saying that the Pistons are next to try to be that next Detroit team to make some noise?
Yeah, I really like that. That's where his mind goes, especially in a time of celebration. Everyone's a Tigers fan. I had a long tweet last night where I was saying, I'm so happy. I've been a diehard Tigers fan. But the Pistons, when the Pistons are in the playoff hunt, even in the play-in, the fans are going to show out more than they would for maybe any other team besides the Lions, because Detroit basketball is just always been a big thing. And I think Cade will be the one to lead us there. I think he's one of the, I'm going to call him a star, one of the stars that's going to stay in the city that he was drafted to. I could be totally wrong, but I really like that his head is there, and I trust Cade that he's going to be the one to lead us too.
I do too. Yeah, he's the type of player, like if the Pistons weren't fully committed on Cade Cunningham, it wouldn't have got a contract extension this summer. Yeah. Like that was an investment. That was a long-term investment. It wasn't given like what he's done throughout his early young career to the Pistons. They gave him $200 million because they believe in his potential and they believe he can be a centerpiece that they can start to build around. And you saw this past offseason with Trajan Langdon, the players that he brought in, the floor spacers that he brought in. And I think for Cade, you're going into year 4. You haven't won a whole lot of games to start off your career. Obviously, he was injured his second year. But I think this is a prove it season for him. This is a prove it season for the Pistons as well, because there's been a lot of discourse with his name. I mean, I was talking with Czar last week. Czar snapped for a good 15 minutes. If you guys haven't watched that video, I posted it yesterday. He was in his bag. But I honestly think I love this mindset from Cade Cunningham. That's the mindset that your franchise player needs to have. He didn't have to show up to that StockX event. He could have just stayed home, getting ready for the season. But he was taking questions from the media. And seeing what the Tigers have done, I think should be motivational for the Pistons, because the Tigers had a 0.2% chance of making the playoffs, and they just got hot at the right time, and now they're in the playoffs. Obviously, they lost tonight, but I think it was because all the champagne and the beer they were popping last night in the locker room. But hey, man, honestly, I love this mindset. I love to hear it. That's what I want my franchise player to say when you're hit with hard questions from the media.
Yeah. I think Cade is a really good leader. I think he has really good responses when he gets asked questions by the media. And he has every building and every tool that shows that he could be the face of this franchise. And I think he will be. I love that he's out there supporting the Tigers and at the StockX event, talking about the Tigers. And when you have sellout crowds a month after your team was 8 games under 500, I think that will show, especially the players, even the new free agents, Malik Beasley, Tobias. Well, Tobias has been here. How much Detroit cares about their sports, and it will also give them a chip on their shoulder that they want to give them something to celebrate with Pistons basketball. Yeah, because I truly think we have some of the best fans in the world.
Yeah, just to piggyback off that, I've always told people that watch this podcast or even interacting on Twitter, Detroit has some of the most passionate fans in the world. Lions games are basically sold out. You have to get in line for season tickets. They have a winning product on the floor. The Detroit Red Wings, they got really close to the playoffs, but that arena is top 10 in attendance every year. Even when they were bad, they were top 10 in attendance. When the Pistons are good, man, when they were in the playoffs against the Bucks That place was so loud and so electric, and obviously they got swept. But the fact that the team made the playoffs, it gave something for the city to get excited about. Good basketball. Like when the Pistons are good, it's so good for the NBA, and it's so good for the city of Detroit when all of our teams are good. And you're seeing it right now with the Lions, the Red Wings, and the Tigers.
Yeah. All the teams are on track to be good at the same time, which is going to make Detroit one of the best sports towns in the country, which we deserved after that 5-year stretch where we had nothing. We had nothing.
Yeah. I mean, if you would have told me that the Detroit Tigers would have made the playoffs before the Pistons and the Red Wings, I would have laughed in your face. I don't know about you. I was like, yeah, right, man. Yeah.